Lock the doors, close the windows, do it now!
And we have no ever-loving idea what's going on.
We are talking Cicada. This one is written and directed by David Willis, and it could play as a double feature with the movie The Birds 2 at Land's End. Because that kind of movie, a knowingly schlocky, low-budget B-movie creature feature horror film. So let's talk about it. Out and Wild by Wild Eye Entertainment in 2020 was originally hit the festival circuit in 2018. And it focuses on these four individuals, these four adults that have to band together, put aside their differences, and work together to try and defeat the menace of these mutated cicadas that are attacking Los Angeles. Now, these cicadas were mutated by this kind of growth serum that was put on the ground to help tree growth and things, but inadvertently it's made these cicadas massive and bloodthirsty, and now they must cut a swathe through these kind of deadly menace to try and escape. What will happen? You have to watch the movie to find out. So this movie, as I've mentioned, is a very low budget affair. It's not going to be for everyone, but those of you who do enjoy a kind of low budget creature feature, what can you expect to enjoy from this? Okay. So the movie knows it is obviously a cheesy B-movie and kind of plays into that. All of the characters are over the top and kind of silly and jokey. It almost plays like a spoof. Only I think Cassandra Hein, who plays our female lead, gives any type of real acting, I would say. She's certainly the best actor in the movie, and I think the only one to actually seem like, to be honest with you, a real character. Everyone else is kind of silly, kind of OTT in a lot of ways, very much like a spoof character. There are some funny moments in this movie, in particular some of the kind of the dialogue. For example, there's a guy they come across who has like this tinfoil hat, and you know, he sort of says he just uses it to try and get away with the stuff so people think he's crazy. There's a couple of things like that that I think were maybe not laugh out loud funny, but certainly, you know, it put a smile on my face a couple of times. There's a huge body count. There's loads of people getting killed in a variety of different low-budget CGI gore ways. And the movie is relatively fast-paced. You know, it doesn't kind of outstay its welcome. The cicadas come pretty early on, and you know they're attacking lots of people, and you know it's a kind of a jolly old affair, shall we say? The thing is, I think this movie really is aimed at a very specific audience. I do not think mainstream audiences will understand the joke in a lot of ways, and I don't think they will they'll just look at this as a very low budget, crappy creature feature and think, why did I buy this? Those of you who are in the know, who are going expecting it, I think obviously will kind of get more out of it. But even then, I would say this movie is super, super low budget. The movie's more or less shot all on blue screen. There's a making of in the credits and things like that, and it's very obviously sort of set on blue screen with cheap-looking kind of costumes, pretty poor acting. As I say, maybe with the exception of Cassandra Hein, everyone is playing a caricature rather than a character, and they're kind of like, you know, putting on silly voices, have very cheap-looking costumes, things like that. Those of you who are wanting gore may be disappointed to know that although the creatures themselves are paper mache models and stuff, the gore is actually all sort of computer generated and put on post-production in kind of superimposed ways, and looks like it, let's just say that. The plot-wise, it doesn't really offer anything new. It's more or less a kind of like just a survival horror that doesn't really offer anything new in regards to story elements. Obviously not taking itself seriously at all and kind of playing it for laughs. I feel this movie has a certain appeal for a certain audience, but I do think that audience is very small. But the thing is, there are other lower budget kind of creature features that I feel do a better job. I think maybe the issue for me, and I quite like low budget movies. If you watch this channel, you know it's pretty much 90% of what I review here. But this movie, is just a little bit too silly, a little bit too veering into the kind of the spoof thing, that you can't really buy into the characters, because they don't seem like real people, they don't seem like relatable people, you don't root for them because they are so cartoonish. They're kind of, you don't look at them as genuine characters, and that, as I said, maybe with the possible exception of the Cassandra Hein character, but it makes it difficult to watch anything more than just a kind of like a little bit of a silly, let's laugh at this kind of thing, whilst other kind of like low budget creature features at least do have likeable characters or relatable characters and things like that, or ones you can root for, whilst this one, you know, it's just one big joke at the end of the day. The whole movie is this one joke. Oh, look at this like super low budget kind of B movie with really crappy special effects, and you know, for a trailer, it looks kind of fun, but when you're watching an hour and a half of it, the joke outstays its welcome. Realistically, I do think this movie will have a little bit of an audience for a very specific crowd who really kind of like the 50s style B-movie creature features mixed with kind of like the silly, scary movie style spoof kind of movies, but it's a small audience. For general audience, I do feel they're thinking, what have I picked up? What is this low budget trash? So I can't honestly say this is a good movie in any respect. I don't think it breaks barriers in what it's trying to do. So I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10. I don't think it is going to have much of a fan base, although the people who do like it, I think, will appreciate the schlockiness that it is definitely trying to be here. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I shall look forward to seeing you next time.